A young boy in Atlanta, Georgia, barely 12 years old, stands on a cracked sidewalk, watching his neighborhood shift. As grocery stores shut down one by one, as factories closed, as families packed what little they had and left, he watched opportunity vanish the way smoke slips through fingers. And in that moment, before he even understood the shape of the world, he whispered a promise to himself. If nobody else is coming to fix this, I will. That boy's name was Malik Henderson. And this is the story of how he became one of the most transformative black changemakers of our time, a modern hero who didn't wait for permission, applause, or validation, only the truth of what needed to be done. Before we dive deeper into Malik's incredible journey, do me a quick favor. Like this video, share it, drop a comment telling me where you're watching from, and hit that subscribe button, so you never miss another story shining a light on modern black excellence, and the heroes shaping our future right now. Alright, let's go back in. Malik wasn't born with power. He wasn't born with connections. He wasn't born with money. But he was born with something far more dangerous to the systems around him. A vision. Growing up in a neighborhood redlined long before he was born, Malik learned early what inequality looked like. Not from textbooks, but from watching his mother stand in line at underfunded clinics, from seeing kids walk miles to school because closed bus routes cut straight through black communities first. At 14, he spent afternoons at the local library, one of the few buildings still standing strong, devouring books about community organizing, urban development, and people like Fannie Lou Hamer, Ella Baker, and Fred Hampton. Books taught him what the world tried to hide. Experience taught him what the world tried to ignore. By 16, Malik began tutoring younger children for free. First 2, then 5, and eventually an entire classroom of kids whose parents trusted him more than the system that had failed them. He didn't know it then, but these afternoons were the first stones in the foundation of the movement he would one day build. One night, when Malik was 17, a boy he tutored, Jamal, stopped showing up. A week passed, then 2. Worried, Malik went looking for him. He found him sitting alone on a stairway behind the old apartment complex, head in his hands, backpack gone, a stack of school suspension notices beside him. Jamal had been expelled not for fighting, not for drugs, not for violence, but for missing too many days of school after his mother lost her job, and he had to watch his younger siblings. The zero-tolerance policy had zero understanding for circumstances too common in communities like theirs. That moment shattered something in Malik, but it also woke something up. He realized that he could tutor one kid at a time, or he could fight the system that made tutoring a necessity in the first place. So he made a decision. A quiet, powerful decision that would echo into the future. We will not let our kids fall through cracks they didn't create. At 19, Malik founded Ground Up, a grassroots organization focused on rebuilding underserved neighborhoods through education, job training, and economic reform. What started with one room in an abandoned strip mall, borrowed chairs, donated books, and volunteers who believed in the cause quickly grew into something unstoppable. First, Ground Up restored access to after-school programs. Then they created job training workshops. Then food distribution networks. Then they partnered with black-owned farms in Georgia to bring fresh produce to communities where grocery stores had disappeared. Soon, local news picked up the story. Then national news. Then universities began inviting Malik to speak. But with attention came resistance. Because whenever a black leader gains influence without gatekeepers' permission, someone somewhere feels threatened. Inspectors began showing up to Ground Up facilities. A surprise audit was launched. Funding was suddenly misplaced. Anonymous threats appeared in Malik's inbox. But Malik kept going because the people relied on him now, and when the people believe in you, no institution can silence that kind of momentum. Just as Ground Up was expanding into its 6th city, Malik received devastating news. The city council planned to demolish the community center to make way for commercial redevelopment, a familiar disguise for pushing out long-standing black residents to build what they could never afford. The center was the heartbeat of Ground Up. Destroying it meant destroying the movement. Malik had 2 choices: fight and risk losing everything, or walk away quietly. He chose the first. For weeks, he rallied residents. He organized peaceful demonstrations. He gathered signatures. He held public forums exposing the redevelopment plan for what it was: a land grab wrapped in legal paperwork. The tension grew. City Hall felt the pressure. Developers grew impatient. Police presence increased. Then one night, hours before the final council vote, the community center mysteriously caught fire. Everything, files, programs, supplies, equipment, gone. But not the movement. Because Malik understood something powerful. You can burn a building, but you can't burn a people. You can't burn a vision. You can't burn the truth. The next morning, over 1,000 residents gathered outside the ruins, holding signs, chanting, refusing to move. Malik stood in front of them and delivered the speech that would echo across news networks nationwide. If you take our building, we'll build 2 more. If you silence our voices, we'll speak even louder. If you try to erase us, we will write our own history. The council backed down. Ground Up not only kept the land, they received new funding from donors moved by the injustice. The movement was stronger than it had ever been. By 28, Malik had rebuilt the center into a thriving multi-level hub. By 30, he'd launched a national coalition inspiring similar centers across the country. By 32, he was advising policymakers on equitable development. But here's the thing about legacy, it's not built in awards, headlines, or accolades. It is built in people. In the kids who graduate because Ground Up gave them tutors. In the parents who find work because Ground Up trained them. In the neighborhoods once forgotten, now full of gardens, literacy programs, and small businesses. Malik became proof that social change didn't end with the civil rights leaders of yesterday. It continues quietly and powerfully through modern heroes who refuse to wait for someone else to save them. Malik Henderson didn't become a hero because he sought the spotlight. He became a hero because he saw a problem and chose to be the solution. And the question his story leaves us with is simple and uncomfortable. What would happen if more of us acted when we felt powerless, instead of waiting for someone else to act? Because heroes are not born. They are made through moments, choices, and courage that begin long before anyone is watching. So the next time you look around your own neighborhood, your own city, your own community, ask yourself, what story will be told about you? What change will you spark? And what future will you help build from the ground up? This is not the end of Malik's story, and it's not the end of ours. It's only the beginning.